Welcome. You are joining us live at .conf 23, and we are here in the Splunk studio broadcasting from the Venetian in Las Vegas, so thank you for being with us. I am Claire Hockin, I am the Chief Marketing Officer here at Splunk, and I'm joined by Mike Horn, who is our GM of Security Products, in what is his first .conf. So we're going to get into all things security and all things conf. So Mike, welcome.
Thanks, Claire. Good to see my neighbor.
I know, we live close together in real life, and here we are out on the road, which is always a pleasure, so good to have you here. So this is my fifth .conf. It's also my fifth Splunkversary this week, so I have this great party that we have thrown, but it's your first, and I think .conf is a real experience, so I just wanted to ask, what's different about .conf to other events you might have been to?
Sure. So first, congratulations on 5 years.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So I think there's a ton of things that make it different from other conferences. The fezzes, with Splunk Trust, the 20-foot tall Buttercup, just all the energy and enthusiasm. Splunk always manages to make things really fun. So I think we don't take ourselves too seriously, and that's one of the things that I love about Splunk. In terms of first conference, it's been amazing in getting a chance to spend time with so many customers, partners, other Splunkers that I don't always get to see, and it's been a great opportunity to spend time with folks and talk about my passion, which is security.
Awesome, and I think the thing at .conf, you get all of those steps in. It's incredibly busy, and the wonderful thing is you can step into sort of any room in this whole exhibition hall or even in our virtual program, and something different is happening with a different kind of community. People are in our hands-on labs learning things. We have analysts here, we have members of the media, we have a boss of the SOC, one of our capture the flag competitions. There's keynotes, there's a whole pavilion. We've even bought the Splunk SOC here. Mm-hmm. So there's just a ton happening. I just wondered, what have been the highlights in the sort of off-the-road programming that you can share?
Yes, so you hit on a few of them. I was really excited about Boss of the SOC and my chance to see that for the first time live, and had an opportunity to be there when it got started, and then check back in a number of times. First of all, congrats to everybody who participated and the folks that won. It was amazing to see just, again, both the energy, some of which I saw a lot of sugar and other things that helped fuel that energy. But yeah, it was really fun to be a part of and to see that. I think that's one of the things that really makes Splunk unique, and this makes this a wonderful event. Enjoyed having a chance to sit in on keynotes, participate in a keynote myself, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's so many things, it's hard to know which are the highlights.
Well, let's talk about that keynote, because I think in my role, we casually said, hey, Mike, do you want to be in the keynote? You're like, yeah, sure, happy to help. And then you go on a journey with our customers, with other members of the Splunk team to get that keynote ready. Hundreds of hours, probably many, many versions of slides, but I think it went really, really well. So I'd love to dig into your keynote experience and most importantly, what we were actually announcing in terms of the security product portfolio.
Yeah. So it was a lot of work, as you said, going into it, and the team is amazing, so thank you to all of your team that did a lot of hard work to get things ready. They helped make me look good, which I appreciate. We talked about a number of things. I'd say, certainly I'm going to start with what's near and dear to my heart, which is we talked about Attack Analyzer, which is a product that we announced available for everybody now. Attack Analyzer is what was formerly known as TwinWave, which is how I got to Splunk. So as you know, we were acquired back in November of last year, and I was one of the co-founders and CEO at TwinWave. So it's really exciting to see that go through the journey of getting into Splunk and getting integrated and kind of getting all the pieces together, and having some early customer adoption there, and now being able to take it to a much broader set of customers. The demo booth has been slammed. It's been a lot of fun. Both of our sessions were standing room only. So that's been a highlight for me in terms of things that we've announced. Excited about that. If you're interested in learning more about Attack Analyzer, talk to your account team. We'll be happy to set up a demo and share more information. We also talked about a number of other great things that we're doing all across the product portfolio. So I'm really proud of all the work that the team's been doing across the security products. So on our SIM product, enterprise security, we've got a number of exciting things coming. We talked about some machine learning powered detection capabilities that are coming out. We talked about some nice new features in terms of the incident review dashboard and being able to add more saved searches for correlation searches, being able to get automatic incident refresh, bringing back the incident review timeline, lots of things that people were really excited about. And those all came out of Splunk ideas or customer conversations. So, we are listening, and I highly encourage folks to spend the time to go into Splunk ideas and do things there.
There was a lot of love actually for that, so it's great to see those ideas coming for customers, and you and your team sort of ticking off the list and getting things back in the hands. It's really brilliant.
That's right, and then we had SOAR product announcements, so we're doing a number of great things in our SOAR product. We're continuing to invest there. We're adding something called logic loops, which basically help people do more complex, more robust playbooks. So that's something that people have been asking for a number of years, and I'm excited to say that we're bringing that to them in the near future. We also talked about mission control. So you've heard quite a bit about mission control. And so that's our ability to bring together both SIM, SOAR, threat intelligence, and other parts of the product portfolio will come into that later as well, and really providing that unified experience for a SOC analyst or somebody working on an investigation, so they don't have to leave the interface that they're in to go take actions or go do other things. They'll be able to do that all from one common interface. And we rebuilt it as a Splunk app from the ground up. So that means that customers that are on-prem will also in the future be able to take advantage of mission control. So it's not just a cloud only, and I think that really reflects some of Gary's message that he brought up in his keynote, which was about, hey, we're committed to customer managed, whether that's on-prem in a customer managed cloud environment. We are committed to that hybrid model. We know that we need to deliver innovation both in the cloud and for customer managed products.
And I think one question I did have for you is we're taking customers on a journey to be more resilient, and we know it's tough out there. It's an incredibly complex landscape with threats, visibility is difficult. Competition, there's tools everywhere. So when we think about the value of the Splunk security portfolio, how would you articulate that sort of all up? And I know we're proud to have been a market leader for more than a decade, but when we look at that today, what most resonates with you in terms of why customers should pick Splunk?
Yeah, I think a number of things. First of all, the breadth of our coverage, the number of different log sources that we can ingest. I think we're a leader there. Yeah. The quality of our detection content. We have over 1,400 detections in our content library that customers can go evaluate and use. The advanced frameworks, things like threat intelligence framework, assets and identities, and others. A risk-based alerting, which helps cut down on the volume of alerts and adds more fidelity and scoring to things so that you can make sure that the things that you're working on are the most important. So I think there's a lot of things there across that part of the portfolio, and then augmenting that with the automation capabilities that come with SOAR. So many things to talk about, but I'm really proud of the work that the team's done. I'm proud of the products, and I think the best is yet ahead. Awesome.
And I think one thing is thinking about the enterprise scale and sort of meeting our customers where they are and helping them get ready for anything is certainly not easy. And one of the great things about .conf is actually having so many customers together. We have thousands on the ground here. We have thousands more watching virtually. And One of those customers that joined you on stage was VMware, and I thought it would be really interesting for you to talk to sort of how customers are using Splunk and maybe using that VMware example to shed a little light.
Sure. Yeah, and first of all, I want to give a shout out to Matt from VMware
he was
for
awesome.
coming up.
Yep.
And yeah, and those lights are bright, and you look out, and there's a lot of people out there, and the team.
Just for the audience, we put Matt under pressure. He was amazing, but we put him under, I don't know, like a 100-foot screen with the VMware sort of version of Splunk behind him, and he did a live demo on stage in front of thousands of people, and he was absolutely awesome. And I think he's just come back from an international trip to India, so he did it with jet lag. So Matt's a hero. Yeah,
and he participated in bots.
Well, there you go.
He and his team, I think they came in third, and so they did a really good job on that front as well. So so they're a great classic example. They're using our core products in terms of SIM and SOAR. They're leveraging advanced capabilities, so they're big fans of risk-based alerting. They're taking advantage of all those kinds of things, and then they're using SOAR to do the automation. So they're able to take that information and automate and do perform the additional actions, whether that's enrichment or whether that's updating security controls. They're able to do those kinds of things. So they're using the products really well. They're excited about mission control and attack analyzer. So Matt got a chance to see Attack Analyzer a few weeks ago, leading up to the demo, and he was like, "Oh, we got to look at that." And so it was great to hear.
That's wonderful. We also had IKEA, I think, was one of our very first SIM customers, and now they're sort of expanding their resilience journey using Splunk observability. So it's just really great to see everybody sort of grow up and face the world together with Splunk, which is great. Let's talk crystal balls. So predictions. I thought I might as well just pick your brain, but we've talked a lot about where we are today and where we've got to, but what do you think is ahead in the world of security?
Yeah. So I'd say there's a couple basic things, and I'll move on to some things that maybe are more interesting. But we know the threat landscape is going to constantly evolve, and we you never know exactly what that's going to look like. But we had the recent event where Microsoft shut off macros for externally sourced documents. Attackers pivoted over to using OneNote with embedded scripts. So there's always movement on that, and so that change is constant. So I think one thing, it's not much of a crystal ball, but we'll continue to see that. We talked about AI, and I'm really excited about AI. I view AI as being the next generation, the next wave of automation for security. And I was part of the first wave of automation, so I had started a company that was an original SOAR provider, and so I went through that journey of convincing customers that security automation could help them. It wasn't something to be afraid of. Everybody's, what happens if it blocks the internet? What happens if my CEO stops getting his email, right?
Yep.
I think we made it through those kinds of concerns. And now to see AI evolving and becoming, with generative AI and LLMs, being able to help security analysts do things faster. So you may be able to go write the SPL yourself, but wouldn't it be easier to just use natural language and say, show me all the things that meet this criteria, as opposed to necessarily needing to go craft the SPL. So I think it's going to be a game changer in terms of productivity and helping folks that are newer into either security or Splunk or other things be able to do more and do it faster.
That's amazing, and we heard from our CTO, Min Wong, with Splunk's vision for AI. We launched a Splunk AI assistant, but we're going to hold you to that, Mike. So you've given us predictions. We're going to check in a year's time at Next.conf and see where we landed. So no pressure.
I look forward to it.
You have a year to go build some really cool stuff, so that's good. This is also a special year for Splunk. It's our 20th birthday, so Splunk is 20, which is very exciting. Firstly, what were you doing 20 years ago?
Oh gosh.
Where were you and what were you doing?
Yes, so 20 years ago I would have been in Colorado. I'm now out in California, but I would have been back in Colorado, and I would have been working on at a technology startup called Vertella, running an engineering team there and building out secure networks for large banks and other organizations. So I was part of the work, my security journey. I've always enjoyed solving customer problems, and that was a place where I was able to go do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I was thinking back, I was living in London, working for a big French consultancy at the time, spending lots of time in Europe, and now here we are, both Splunkers, and we both live about 100 yards from each other in real life in California, so there you go. But what's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned over the last 20 years?
Oh gosh, I've made lots of mistakes, so I try to learn.
I was trying to avoid those.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to learn from all those. I try to make new mistakes. I think that's a lesson that I've learned, and I think it always comes back to me when I think about things with my product hat on. It's all about, at the end of the day, how do we make customers successful, and what are the outcomes they're trying to achieve, and how do we make sure that the things that we're building help them do that. And so, I've seen that play out, a number of different times, and where companies get it right, and I've worked on products that just totally nail it, and I've seen cases where we don't get it right, and we have to go figure it out. And so I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that it all comes down to the customer, because if you make them successful, we'll be successful.
I think that's great advice, and it's really, really relevant for the world we live in today. Okay, so describe Conf in one word.
Splunky.
Splunky.
I took the easy out.
No, that's good.
But you only gave me one word.
Okay,
so.
I'm going to give you one more word.
Oh gosh, fun.
Fun, yeah, fun and Splunky. I think that's fair. There's just so much to learn and do, and I'm seeing someone out there who has put this event together, and looking at her, and she's got a huge smile on her face, and now I'm waving. So it's fun, and it's great to see the people that have built this over literally weeks, months, and years still feel happy at the end of day 3, which makes me happy too. So that's fantastic.
Oh, I could have used my one word, tired.
Tired, I know. You're only tired when you sit down. I think then you get up and go again. But
it's
an incredible week. And if you're watching, there's just so much going on online. Everything that Mike has talked about. I think you authored a blog for us talking about what's new in security, which is definitely worth checking out. We also announced our new partnership with Microsoft Azure to build Splunk natively.
That was exciting.
I know, maybe you could share a bit more of your perspective on that.
Yeah, so I've had a number of customer meetings since we made that announcement, and customers are certainly excited about it. I think it's going to be a great partnership. Certainly a lot of customers are tied very closely to Microsoft, and I think starting, just to be clear, we're available through the Microsoft Marketplace, US and internationally coming soon, and then we're working together to figure out the ways that we can uniquely add value together for customers. So, what we want to do is work as design partners and make sure that we're solving really interesting, hard problems for customers together.
That's awesome, and I know on that first ability to transact on the Azure Marketplace, we had our first transaction this morning, which is amazing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know.
Right.
So that's something that customers are really excited about. So go check that out as well. But it's real, it's live, it works, and I think it's going to be a game changer, which is great. So, Mike, any closing thoughts?
No, I mean, it's such a pleasure to be here. I really love all the energy and passion that our customers have for Splunk, and we appreciate all the feedback and input. These sessions are amazing to get a chance to spend more time with customers. I wish I could do even more meetings. I feel like my calendar is packed, but I'd love to talk to every single one of the folks that are here, and we certainly appreciate everything that our customers do for us, and we want to make sure that we're showing up and doing the right thing for them every day too.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to leave it. So thank you for watching, Mike. Thanks for being with me in the Splunk studios, and we'll catch you later.